This is great. 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. This is the Splinterlands Town Hall. I am your host, Agrode. I'm the founder and the CEO of this thing. And in this wild adventure we call this morning, we got so many folks here. And on this adventure, it's exciting. It should be awesome, and it's good times. So let's see. To start, we got a number of people that are going to be here on air. They're folks that you should hopefully recognize at this point. We got Nate, we have WeirdBeard, and we have Chatter. Chatter is presumably in some place where the internet is horrible, so we just get to see his card today as opposed to his lovely, though ever young face. But then going forward, we actually have a fair number of people that we have to introduce and just sort of talk through and have around. So the first of which I'd actually like to start with, I do like to try to start with the devs in general. So this morning I'd like to go introduce Dante. Dante, do you want to give a quick background, because you haven't been on air yet? So we have to do two things. One, we have to figure out who is Dante and why are you giving this dev update. And then two, we actually have to do the actual update and see what's going on. So let's start with the introduction piece. Dante, welcome to the team, but also just welcome to the on-air experience. Who are you? What do you do around here? And maybe I should say that more in the office space. What exactly do you do around here? And you can go kind of walk us through that.
Sure. Great to be here. Thank you so much. My name is Daniel Durante. Sometimes I go by Dante or Durango, or sometimes both Dante Durango. My job here is, head of engineering at Splinterlands, so I just generally help engineers out whenever they need it. I also help out the DevOps team, infrastructure, planning, project and product managers, basically any wizards that need help, jack of all trades, master of none type.
So, did you go to school for coding? Are you coding? Are you managing? Do you crack a whip and make sure that devs are coding in their chairs? What is the gig? What do you do? What is the head of engineering?
Yeah, so it's an 80-20 split or 90-10 of developing and managing. The managing part just consists of shuffling through code reviews, ticket management, planning and designing infrastructures of systems, as well as back-end DevOps infrastructure related stuff. When my hands are off the keyboard, it's typically talking through scenarios, creating milestones, and just generally helping projects move forward.
In the whole Star Trek realm of things, are you like a Geordi LaForge? Are you like Scotty? Who should we think of you as in this team or this company?
I prefer Data.
Data, okay. Mm-hmm. So you're on the bridge, helping to go make sure that we avert disaster. And is the data part because of the role, or do you have an impartial, nearly inhuman interface with others in that you express no emotion, although maybe you want to have it one day?
Previous girlfriends have called me a robot, so maybe that could be a little bit emotionless. But it's mostly just I'm kind of just able to see the forest and the trees at the same time, so I'm able to kind of see the data in both levels of where we need it, where it's going to head, and how to kind of make it more efficient and optimized for everyone.
That's pretty cool. Okay. I should probably know people better before I tease them a bit, but I don't know. We've been on a couple calls now. Okay. So next up, we have this whole development thing that's happening here at Splinterlands. And, what I'm amazed by is that Dante, you're in everything. Every single meeting that I'm in where there's a strategic decision somewhere, Dante's there having that call with us. So in terms of who's actually helping to, it's some combination of calling the shots and actually making sure that this stuff gets executed appropriately. So, we have a couple people that are sometimes just Hardpoint at this point is super strategic as opposed to really technical and in the weeds, although he does get somewhat technical and in the weeds with folks. But, Dante is really in there at every meeting trying to make sure that this stuff gets implemented. Do you want to just give us any kind of major updates for the roadmap, what's happening? And the first question is we have this roadmap. Are there any major advancements or breakthroughs? Are there any major things that will never be happening? Where are there things that are totally off track? Just how are we doing? And what's the current state of the roadmap to you?
Yeah, so far we're currently on track. We did have to push our schedule up a little bit quicker than usual, but our team is just handling that pretty well without adding like a lot of hours or anything like that. In terms of milestones, this is for the MLCPH project, which is
anything. I mean, you're literally touching everything. So we have Splinterlands New Ventures, and we have Splinterlands. If you want to start with New Ventures stuff,
sure.
Yeah, what's highest on your roadmap? What do you feel like is burning a hole in the team? Like, what are we focused on there?
Yeah, so we're mostly focused on the project called New Ventures, which is basically creating a Steam Monsters game engine so that other players and other developers and people in general can also develop their own games and create their own kind of earn-to-play GameFi games if they wanted to.
Okay, and then for where is that project at? Like, what are we working on? What is the main deliverable, and what are you feeling the most pressure to get rolled out or put together?
So far, we've delivered a universal authentication system so that you'll be able to log in through several different games. Hopefully, between Splinterlands and MLSPA, and then any other derivatives that we come out with in the future.
And that has such far-reaching business implications, right? Like, if every single person from every different sport and every different entertainment piece suddenly not only gets a login to that game that they did, but they also get the login to Splinterlands. I'm really hoping that the sort of single sign-on experience helps cross-pollinate players across all these different games. I mean, why not? You're already here. You might as well play that other thing or see if you like it.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes account management easier across all those games, as well as customer support.
Okay, so we're building the DeFi game in a box, or the Web 3.0 game in a box. We have a October deadline to try to get our packs out. Do you see anything there where you're like, oh, I don't know if we're going to make it in October? Does it seem like we'll be okay and we'll get our packs in early October like we think, or do you feel like there's some major headaches or problems that are not going to be addressed in time?
So we do have a way of already receiving packs within our QA environment, which is basically PayPal as well as using Hive cryptocurrency. We don't currently support Ethereum or any of the Binance chains, which we're currently working on.
Okay, so at the very least, we could have sort of like a somewhat crippled website that does already function. It just doesn't do the Ethereum bits.
Yeah,
is that correct?
It doesn't currently look nice either. We're currently working on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we still have all of September and a little bit of October, so there's like a month to go, kind of put that stuff together. The good news too is that those things that you just described are things that we've already done for Steam Monsters and Splinterlands, right? So like the sometimes when we're doing things that are brand new, that's what will get me like totally nervous that we'll hit deadlines, right? Like if we're like, hey, we need to go introduce Solana into this, and it has to be by early October, that's terrifying because we haven't done it. We don't know enough about it. We don't know how the nodes work, and we have no experience having done it. Who knows how long that will take? And, once you get into it, you're like, okay, well, there's infrastructure, but does the damn public infrastructure even work? I mean, on the Hive engine side, when we're doing like wax transfers, those freaking nodes are the most finicky thing in existence. So like, yes, there's public infrastructure, but is there reliable public infrastructure is a completely different question. So, if you're saying, hey, it's Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum that we still have to go futz around with, like, okay, who cares? We'll figure that out. That it's already known. It's already been done. So that all sounds promising. And then also, hey, we still have to make it pretty. Okay, well, there's people here that are really talented at that. And again, can we make something pretty? My answer is yes. That's not an unknown. That's not a big variable. That's just like man hours. That's just like sweat and elbow grease. And like, I don't know what the equivalent of elbow grease is for like drawing on drawing pads and making sweet art, but whatever the like artist equivalent of elbow grease is, it's just that. It's time and effort by really skilled people. What about on the Splinterlands side? You know, I do want to make sure that we're talking about some of the new venture stuff there, but you know, I think most of the guys that are listening to this want to know what's up next for Splinterlands. What are we working on? What's burning a hole? Like what do you see as the next major rollouts to happen? What's on the roadmap that is, again, seeming like the most imminent pieces to be deployed?
Sure. Yeah. So the new ventures platform kind of has a synergistic relationship with Splinterlands as well as Goals or MLSPA and a few other projects that we have. One thing kind of feeds in the other and builds upon the other and improves upon the other. Right now, our next major feature that we are working on in terms of the new venture system is the card marketplace items, as well as NFT generation, which is a whole new concept of just being able to generate NFTs pretty quickly as well as dynamically.
Okay. What about like game modes or things that you think that the players will see or interact with? Because that like we have some of the things that are just like pure back end. We have some that are just changes on the front end. And then there's like new game modes and new experiences. Like what are the things that seem to be cooking that we're working on that, you know, the players can look forward to? You know, they don't really look forward to back end changes. Like they just want stuff to work and just function, and they want all that to be completely invisible to them. But what are the parts that are not invisible to them? Where are we working on that's going to like change the way that they interact with us?
I don't know what I'm actually allowed to speak about with the new upcoming features for Splinterlands. I didn't get any green lights for this conversation, so I do apologize for that, Aggie.
Company man through and through. Yeah, we should just leak all the alpha. Just put it all out there. Just everything. Just get it out. That's all right. Matt will be here next week, so we can go figure out the sort of like what all the things that we want to share. I think next week is going to be like, all right, let's get as much of this stuff on the table because it'll be another month before Matt comes on. Okay, so I guess. Oh, and it's going to end. Yeah, that's right. It's Tuesday, so I should just mention that now that this coming Monday is one of the big holidays in the United States. So we're not going to have it on the 5th. We're going to have it on the 6th. So that's something for everybody to consider. We try not to bother the employees and try not to get stuff going when there's like holidays. So normally I would have skipped it. But again, I've been telling people in Mavericks that there's a lot of stuff coming. There's an absurd amount of stuff coming, you know, from Splinterfest to an undisclosed project to rewards for validator node owners. There's tower defense that's coming. There's like 5 or 6 different projects that are all going to be here between like now and October. It's freaking insane. MLSPA is going to be coming here. So like there's just a ton of freaking things. So yeah. So I couldn't actually skip next week. So we're just gonna move it from the 5th to the 6th. And that's how that'll work. Okay. So Dante, any kind of like final things that you want to share with us? I think I'm going to move on. We'll see what Chatter wants to go spill the beans on, or what he wants to talk about for sort of like new projects, or whatever stuff that we want to share today. We'll let him kind of spill some of the beans for that and take that off your plate. But you know, anything. I guess first, welcome to the community. Thanks for being involved in literally everything that we're developing. And if there's things that you want to share or things that you want to talk about, this would be like, you know, a stellar time to kind of pop off on.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for having me again. You know, one of the things with the MLSPA site or that game, it's not just going to be another card game where you just, you know, have a strategy of throwing your cards onto a certain plot and then the game plays. There's going to be an actual like step-by-step play action. So, I mean, it's going to be a little different than your traditional card game, which is nice. but we're developing that engine to kind of support all variances of card games as well. So hopefully there'll be some mini games and other things involved.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the Splinterlands experience for a little while, and hopefully we can be getting players more different types of experiences. And for me, I really want my brain. I want players to be able to come in at the lowest skill level and the lowest knowledge level, and come in and have the lowest form of experience possible on a blockchain. And then I also want the advanced users to come in and have like this incredibly complicated everything to the max level experience, and I want everything in between. So from the different types of things we're building, from social casino games to our entertainment stuff, to the sports stuff, to things within Splinterlands itself, I really want like the full range, so that we can meet everybody where they are, rather than have it be this is what we want to do. So, Dante, thank you for being here. Thanks for working at this company. Thanks for like literally being involved in every single piece of like what we're developing. I'm sure that can be exhausting at times, but we appreciate the efforts. Thanks for coming on air. Thanks for being, transparent with the guys, and hopefully we'll have you on before too long.
My pleasure. Thank you, Aggie.
Nice to meet you, and thanks for being here. And hopefully the team, the players can all appreciate just having highly talented folks that are involved in everything. It's a lot of work. Okay, now, like I said, I want Chatter to kind of come on. Now, I know that we have some announcements next week, so maybe you want to announce the announcements. Maybe there's some stuff that you want to talk about that we're rolling out today. Give me the skivvy, give me the 411. What the hell is going on here? Because there's so much that we have to deal with. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's start with next week's announcement. Lots of announcements, but next week is the one that you guys don't want to miss. There's going to be a lot of news about tower defense. There's going to be some news about Rift Watchers and everything else. So just make sure you guys are there next week. There's going to be a lot of things in the pipeline. This is really going to be kicking off the month of huge announcements. So I'd say you probably don't want to miss any of the town halls coming up in September. But lots of announcements this week. Make sure you're there next week. It's going to be September 6th instead of the Monday. It's going to be the Tuesday next week. But otherwise, I'll keep things fairly short today. Things for this week, we're working on a tournament series in kind of partnership with Ali Straza and her partner Mason. We did the initial kind of paid promotion with them for the first 2 streams and everything. They've decided that they like the game so much that they've actually started putting their own skin in the games to buy their own cards and everything, and have reached out to create a secondary tournament with us, which is really cool to see. The fact that these kind of people coming in doing promotions are actually wanting to stick around in the game and do a lot more organic kind of partnerships now is been amazing. They've been fantastic to work with. Ali and Mason's community have both been fantastic as well to interact with. So really excited about that one.
Yeah, I really like them. I like Ali is quite pleasant, just a really nice human. And Mason, I'm so proud of him, of like just how much he knows, how quickly, like that dude freaking gets it. That was like nearly astounding to watch. He'd been here for like 2 weeks, and he's like an advanced user.
Right, he's already better than me, which is a little bit aggravating, but it's okay. Yeah, it's cool to see that both of them, coming from professional card playing backgrounds, are just being able to jump into it and pick it up so quickly. But I see Vet saying Bean, being same thing. We're Canadian here, so it's a lot of words sound the exact same. Otherwise,
so much crap from our community.
Yeah,
you're a good sport. You're a good sport, Chatter.
No, I love it. Doesn't help that I'm like have a weird raspy mumbly voice too, and I'm Canadian, so I don't know how to pronounce words. We also put a lot of U's in our words instead. But other than Lamas and Beans, the Splinterfest tickets, those are on sale. Make sure you guys check those out if you guys want to attend Splinterfest.
Half of the VIP ones are already gone, right?
Yeah.
It's like another month before the sale ends, and I'm sure like everybody and their mother's like, crypto's kind of low. I want to just wait a little bit to see if I spend this money. But we're like halfway sold of the VIPs. Like that was a little shocking to me.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see. I think there's just 200 and something attendees looking at it right now. We've actually seen a lot of sales in fiat too, hilariously. I think Eventbrite's been doing more sales than the website has, which is funny to think about right now. Everyone's trying to hodl their SPS as much as possible. Myself being one of those people.
Who wants to spend 5-cent SPS? You can take this SPS from my cold dead hands. It's like, all right, when we're back up at $1, maybe I'll be flush and tossing it around like it's nothing. But until then, no way.
Yeah, exactly. But Splinterfest is going to be an awesome time, guys. I mean, what other conference can you think of that you can go and potentially walk away with more money than you actually spent going in? Not financial advice, nothing guaranteed there, but there's going to be titles, there's going to be land plots given out, there's going to be a lot of really cool things happening, and there's going to be a lot of kind of first peeks at new upcoming Splinterlands and other new venture projects coming out. So if you don't want to,
we're gonna get some like merch there too, aren't we? Like you're gonna be able to go get some like sweet gear that like you probably can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, so every attendee is going to get kind of free limited time merch in their kind of goodie bag just for stepping in the door. But there's also going to be some more limited time merch on sale there for anyone else who wants to get their hands on more. There's going to be some really cool, all the collectibles and kind of figurines and miniatures that Hurricane's been working on are going to be there. So there'll be packs of those if you want to set them up and build them. Whole bunch more things. Community members are coming in. I know Angry Chipmunk's going to be creating some like wooden cards for us. I'll show that off next time, or maybe I'll post a photo of the one that he sent me. But super cool. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on there, guys. It's going to be an awesome time. You're going to meet all the community members and all the team members. I'm just really stoked for it. It's going to be the one event this year that I'm really looking forward to. So would love to see you guys there.
How many people do we have coming out? It's like, what, 30 right now? Is it more than that? Like just team members?
Right now, I think it's almost 40 team members that have already got tickets that are going. I know there's another kind of 15 to 20 that haven't bought tickets yet that we're going to be hounding this week to make sure that we get those tickets in for. But I'd estimate there's going to be anywhere between probably 50 to 70 team members that are going to be at the event itself.
So like, if you guys ever wanted to know, like, my joke, which is only sort of a joke, is that, this company, if everybody could design it from the community, like the way they'd want, we would literally be working in a fishbowl. And like, there would be cameras behind Dante, there'd be cameras behind Cryptomancer, cameras behind Matt, and every word that they say and every line of code that they write, somebody would be able to see, and somebody else would be able to like write up notes, and somebody could be able to like, blog about the notes and go on Twitter and tweet the little things. Like literally everything would actually be kind of viewed that way. Well, now I think this is your chance to actually like get in there, see who these people are, like shake their hand and go find out like, what are they building? How are they building it? And, you have all these little conversations. So if you want to go like get inside some developer's head and say, hey, I really wish we did X, Y, or Z, this is where all this kind of stuff happens. And it sticks with you more than when it's just like, here's a little note on Discord. I know you get 8,000 of them, but hopefully this will be memorable. And instead, it's going to be like, you as a human interacting with the team members here and trying to get that sense built. And people keep talking about Luthien. Luthien, you should build like a little, platform or like blog on Hive and tell the community that you want to be there and get the whole thing, make it a thing, make it like a whole community experience. Let's get Luthien to Splinterfest. Because in a lot of ways, she really does represent the best of us. So there is that. Hopefully this community can help. Okay. What else do we have here, chatter? What else do we want to talk about?
Last big thing to announce from our side is we're going to be doing a AMA with Huobi tomorrow on their Twitter Spaces. So we're still kind of waiting on the link for them, but I'll make sure to share that in our Discord once we have that from them.
Wait, did you say Huobi, like the giant Asian exchange? We're going to be doing an AMA with them?
That is correct. So as part of the kind of kickoff partnership with them, we're going to be doing some AMAs. We're going to do some more kind of like Q&A tech-style conversations on their Telegrams and everything going forward too. But there'll be a few more things coming down the pipe as time goes on.
And then Quantum was asking specifically how many. We can't see the fiat sales, so how many fiat sales do you think we've done for the non-VIP tickets?
I don't know how many fiat there are. In total, we've done about 250, I think it is.
Okay, and do you think that's it? And that's our cap? That somebody will show up, or do you think more people will sign up as we keep getting closer and closer?
I mean, if the team's any indication, like a lot of people from our side, myself included, haven't fully mapped out 100% of the things yet. So I would assume that there's going to be more people trickling in. We're still seeing sales come in, especially on the fiat side as time goes on. So I would like to see if we can hit kind of the 300 to 350 mark before the event starts.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. So, any last hype for next week that you want to put in here, just to make sure that people are, properly aligned for the Tuesday town hall?
I think those are the big things. Just without spoiling anything, just reminder that there's going to be Rift Watchers, there's going to be Tower Defense, a few more Splinterlands updates and new venture stuff to talk about. But you won't want to miss next week, guys. It's going to be a huge one for us.
Yeah, Matt's going to be on too. So like we're gonna go, like all the cards are on the table next week. So okay, thank you for that. Let's go hop over to the creative side of things. We got a friendly gentleman with a lovely hat who's always so charming, the one, the only, Nate. Nate, how are things? You want to give like a super quick intro and then just tell us what you're working on and what's high on your priority list?
Yeah, for sure. The creative side is always hopping. It's I mean, from one town hall to the next. Yes, what's creative doing? Everything. They're constantly just all over the place. So on projects that you guys are aware of, projects that you aren't aware of, projects that'll maybe start getting more insight on next week as that stuff gets brought up. So across the board, pretty exciting. I would say that currently right now we're finally putting to bed the final assets for Rift Watchers. At this point, engineering has just about everything they need, from UX to UI to character art to lore to all the little animations and things that they'll need in order to make it happen. So if those of you out there are wondering, well, when is it going to happen? Well, it's, since the creative side of things takes so long compared to the dev side, you could rest assured it is happening. It's happening soon, and we'll probably get the exact dates next week for those of you who hop on the town hall.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think people are going to go nuts for Rift Watchers. Do we have? We haven't put out like our formal white paper for this thing yet, have we? But we've been. You have something to say or something? Go on.
Oh no! I mean, yeah, there's little tiny details that I'm sure the community out there is holding with bated breath, like, hey, what's the stats on the promo card for the pre-sale? Or, hey, how much is each one going to cost in vouchers or SPS or whatnot? So, we're probably going to make a blog post. We're going to share those details. They're pretty much like, I feel like it's there. It's like, this is chances are what we're going to do, but it's like 99.9% there. It's like, before we go and release this information to the world, we want to make sure it's absolutely 100%. Nothing's going to change. So, so for those of you guys getting frustrated or whatever, of course, I'll share some eye candy like I normally do.
Oh, nice!
Just to kind of appease you guys. But yeah, we'll get that final data of cost and pricing and this and stats and stuff. Pretty darn soon.
You mentioned this thing called eye candy. Do you have a little bit that you might want to share with the community?
Yeah, sure.
Things on the roadmap, the non-card market, and I think that there's some stuff that's still waiting on, like creative. You want to give me an update on that and where we're at and what's left, and I don't know.
Yeah, there's it's funny because the non-card market, when we initially looked at designing that, we're like, well, just take what we have in the website and just tweak it a little bit and plop it instead. And when we grabbed it to start tweaking, we realized that it's a lot more involved than anyone probably previously expected. I mean, trying to take you know, a non-fungible token layout and apply it to fungible tokens, suddenly we're like, huh, well, this is a different beast. This needs different types of functionality and different types of layout and stuff like that. So I think I shared with you guys some of the layouts previously, and for those of you who are catching up, I can share like for example, let me see, fungible. So this is like a fungible. Now, any layouts I show you, TBD, as far as like, you know, anything subject to change. But it gives you guys an idea of where our heads are at. So, you know, stuff like this, where you can kind of like take some of the fungible token stuff and look at list views and do something slightly different with it. You'll notice that if you compare that to the existing screens for the NFTs on the website, there are some changes. There's some little tweaks, some things that are a little different, and things we got to take that into account. And then whenever you push a button and you get all these child modals or layouts or screens that kind of speak to the action you're trying to perform, all of those have their own little nuances.
Are these Kai designs?
Actually, they are. Those are from last week. For those of you who were on the town hall and met Kai, she's been working on this stuff.
Yeah, she reminds me of like Google. Like if we had somebody from Google that worked here and was like, we need the cleanest, simplest design possible. Like that's what this strikes me as. Like, what is the least amount of stuff that I could display to make sure that like people get it? She has that kind of you know, that's where she is in my brain.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then, so we have non-card market, and we have some things coming for that. And I think your comment is just so astute. And I just want it to be clear that I'm not the only person in the company that does this. Like this happens to all of us, where we're like, just do X, and then you get into X, and you're like, holy shit, this is like 40 times more difficult than I ever imagined. And what we thought was like a 3 on your Agile story point scale is like, oh no, that's actually like a 99. You know, this is like the like power level 9,999, and that's like, crap. What did we get ourselves into? And that's why all this stuff takes longer. Is like you can't just do the thing. It's never just do that. It's always like yes, and then in order to actually make it usable, here's all the other stuff that you have to do.
No, absolutely. And what's funny is that, yes, sometimes there is a project that is just do this because we've done it enough times to where it's like, yeah, it is just do this. But I don't think people quite realize just how revolutionary we're on the very tip of the tip of the tip of the spear that is driving blockchain DeFi type gaming in the world. Like, I mean, I want you guys to really think hard about what other company out there in the world is putting as much complexity and layers to a blockchain game as we are. And when you think about everything that we're doing, layer upon layer upon layer of tokenomics and DeFi and GameFi and the game mechanics and everything else, you begin to realize, well, nobody is. So every time we tackle a project, you say, well, how long is this going to take? You know, Richard has to make the roadmap and say, guys, how long is this going to take? And we're like, no one's done this before. What do we have to go off of to make these estimations? Like we're projecting on like, well, okay, it's kind of like, you know, NASA going to the moon for the first time. It's like, well, you know, we'll figure it out along the way, and we'll kind of like, and that's kind of like what we do. So, you know, typically speaking from UX UI standpoint, you know, people are like, just do this, and you're right. It's like, well, for every screen that is just do this, there is an ungodly amount of different possibilities. Like, what if the user wants to know this though? And it's like, okay, let's add that in. And well, what if they do this instead, unexpectedly? Like we expect them to do this, but they do that instead. Will that result in an error? We better make a message for that. What do we need for that? A modal? We got to add some kind of like messaging or a notification. And suddenly this one, let's do this screen turns into a million different, like, well, okay, it could go a million different directions. We got to account for that. We got to figure out the back end. Well, how's that going to affect things? And there's this ripple effect. So yeah. For those out in the, you know, playing backseat driver out in the world saying, well, just do this. It's like, it's rarely that simple. but yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably the person most guilty of this in the company, but it's nice to hear that Nate does it too. I'm just saying. Okay, so any other eye candy? Those look great. What else? What else do you want to share? What else is like sort of high priority on our creative needs to crank this stuff out now list?
Let's see. What would be fun? You know, there are going to be new abilities in Rift Watchers, which is always cool. Which I think is really cool for a game that people look at and say, "Oh, that's just a simple game. It's like an auto battler." It's like, what do you got? Is this for kids? It's like, no. Have you seen the ability list? You could scroll for days. How many different abilities there are that make each unique in each game? So unique in the overall gameplay. So if you guys want to theorize on what this ability does, it's called Fury. But essentially, you can look at it and say, well, I wonder what that's going to do.
It looks like it's just saying "re." What that is like when aggro says something and the community doesn't like it, they can go deploy that, and they can all go "re" at me. Fury. I'm gonna get triggered by this thing.
Wow. What else would be fun? Okay, if you had a choice between, I don't want to show everything, but let's see. What would you prefer to see? A fire character or an earth character?
I think with Yasik, the Conqueror, coming out very shortly, I think trying to think through anything fire would be what the people want.
All right, let's take a look. So here was the initial sketch concept for this character, known as Mordius. And how he turned out was pretty cool. So let's see. Here's the artwork for Mordius. Take a look at that guy.
I dig it.
Oh,
He's got some like crystalline features to him, like not just scaly, but like really crystalline.
He's not a dragon, but he's a very dragon-like character. So it should be interesting to see something that looks so draconic in the fire element. What else? And then let's end with maybe a little bit of a bang. I have another wallpaper. I said I would kind of try to share a new Rift Watchers wallpaper each week as we lead up to the event. And this one's pretty cool because it gives you a glimpse at 3 of the Runemancer characters, each of which will be an independent card. And for those of you who are really observant, you should be able to line up at least a couple of these characters with artwork that was previously shared individually. So here is the Rift Watcher. Well, basically, they're some of the Rift Watcher leadership, these Runemancer's, on the ship of that, on the deck of that ship that I shared, I think, last week.
Nice. The dwarf is so badass. Is she like a Naga on the left there? A winged Naga?
Yeah, she's definitely water element.
Yeah. I mean, if I saw those guys coming out of a portal, I think I might be like, hey, I think life is about to change for me personally. As long as this ship, this entity, and these 3 overlords happen to be present.
No, absolutely. So for those of you guys who have been reading the lore, I know some of you are like, the lore, whatever, but it just gets better and better. So I encourage you guys to go read the latest. I think this is it, called The Talisman. It kind of like speaks to the leader of the Chaos Legion, touches on a little bit of his origins. And as you guys read more and more of the lore, you're going to be able to start connecting the dots for what these wallpapers are actually referring to, which is pretty cool. I mean, all the wallpapers, if you compare it to the story and the story that's unraveling now and in the near future, it would be like, oh, that's from that, or I see what's going on. And you can start connecting the dots in the meta, and that's pretty fun to do for those of you guys who dig that kind of stuff.
All right. Awesome. We do a lot of eye candy. We sort of make you make you dance. So I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to just, is there anything that you want to share about how you approach these things, or how you experience them, or your experience with the team? I want to make sure that you are not just the candy machine, but a human that gets to go report your story and your experience with this team. Anything that you want to share, Nate?
Well, I will say that for those of you who like to watch these town halls weekly and as often as possible, you guys have seen the sheer talent and passion for the creative team members is just amazing. I am very happy and proud of every single member of the creative team. They continue to show me through their passion and their dedication just how enthusiastic they are. None of them treat it as like a job. Like, oh, come to work, tell me what to do. Okay, there you go. It's more like every single day we're like, well, this needs to get done. And suddenly it's like Donkey from Shrek. Me, look at me. They all like about 30 hands immediately go up simultaneously. Let me do it. And it's like, it is so ridiculously in stark contrast to your typical corporate job, right? Where everyone's just kind of like, oh, don't look at me, give it to the other guy. It's like everyone is fighting to do the work. And that is incredible to see. And I hope that you guys see it bleed through into the UI and the design and the artwork and everything else. These people are passionate. And as I see that passion play out, I see just things getting better and better and better and better. Currently right now, as we kind of put Rift Watchers in a rear view mirror and we start looking at the future and Rebellion and future functionality and game mechanics to the game and land and all the rest, just feel rest assured that creative is definitely not content to sit on their laurels. We want to continue to push the envelope. We want to make sure that when you guys pop up in the game, that it looks better and better and better, and that it feels more and more and more game-like and immersive, and you get the oohs and the ahs as we start to be able to work towards making everything come alive, whether it be through animation or music or sound effects or voice clips and all the rest. Like that, we haven't forgotten that stuff. We are looking at all that. And I think I saw a comment earlier in the chat about skins. Yes, we are actively, specifically working
3 years
towards
deep into skins.
So yeah, that is part of our new pipeline that we're actually test running right now this week. Is how can we make it so that as each character is produced, that the skins are produced at the same time? And I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic. I think we'll be able to pull it off. So I think the future's pretty bright.
Well, rock on. Thank you, sir. WeirdBeard, I believe you're the last of the regulars. You want to go tell me what's up and what we're working on?
Yeah, I can do that. What's up? How are you, Aggie?
I like, if you hear all that passion and excitement, I feel all of those things. And then, I just have an infinite amount of work to do. So sometimes that is a little daunting, not daunting, but just daunting. Or maybe it is kind of daunting. I just have to Dante myself everywhere. I have to be in every meeting in all the places, doing all the things. And, nobody should feel bad for me. I'm not, this is what I signed up for, and it is extraordinary. It can be exhausting. But this is what I love, man. This community, this project, these pieces, and the sort of hope that I think we're working towards of, like, this isn't just a game. If you think it's just a game, you're missing the point. This whole thing is designed to build a stage in an arena where it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. I call it spawn point equality. And so, if you think about this world as sort of like, let's say you got fragged in your last life and then you just got spawned into this world, and you could be anywhere on the planet, to any parent anywhere. And the challenge to me is that from one side of the world to the other side, depending on where you're born and who you're born to, that, like, just that one thing, who your birth parents are, is like so indicative of what your fate will be. And I would like a world where it doesn't matter who your parents are, that you have this like massive opportunity, no matter where, no matter what. All you need is like a chip in a chair, all you need is an internet connection and Splinterlands, and you can personally make your own fortune and drive your own destiny. And what I'm trying to build is what I think of as spawn point equality. It doesn't matter where you spawn, you're going to have a chance to make something of yourself in your life, and this game should be in your hands and make that possible. And that's the ultimate piece that's driving me in terms of like, what is my mission? What is my mission on this planet? Is to try to like reach spawn point equality. And I think this game and this economic engine and this tool is like the strongest thing that I can present to the world to help get there. So that's why I'm passionate. That's why I'm excited. That's why I like exhaust myself daily trying to get to that. What do you think of that?
That's cool. I mean, like, listen, I like passionate people. More than anything else, I would rather work for a company that sucks with passionate people than a company that's like great with unpassionate, like just bootlickers. But we get both in Splinterlands, so that's pretty cool for me.
You saying you get both the bootlickers and the
yeah, and the unpassionate people, you know it. But no, like right now it feels like we're just waiting in line. You know what I mean? Like to get to the front for everything for tournaments and brawls. And it's not bad, but it's because there's so many things that are happening, right? Like we're really popping off. We have an announcement with Ali Straza for tournaments coming up soon. We unveiled Ghost Card tournaments, which we're still debuting at Splinterfest. And the Splinterfest production is a whole thing. I will tell you right now that, it's essentially the crux of the second day when you're there at Splinterfest. You're going to be seeing a tournament that has a whole production team. It has live casters in the booth. We have some of the biggest names that you could possibly see. We're giving away land as prizes, over, close to $15,000 worth of prizing for these two tournaments where you get to play with all of these different cards. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. You just get a Splinterfest ticket and you're entered in to be able to compete. It's going to be a lot. There's a lot of things happening with that right now. And I think the other thing as well is that we're really making sure that Splinterfest can't be the last stop on the train, right? Like it's really the first one. So there's all these things where people are like, "Oh, Splinterfest is going to be done, and then you're going to be able to take a break." And it's like, no, that's when everything starts. Unfortunately, it's when it really starts happening and going. We hope to be able to have some pretty major announcements about the future of like esports and Splinterlands and what we want to do with it and ways that people could compete with this new tournament format and our current tournament format all across the world. Like there's lots of things that are going to come after that. And it's all on the heels of we're continually seeing our highest tournament entry rate season over season right now over the past 2 seasons, which is great. Like we're seeing more and more people wanting to be able to compete. And there's tweaks that are going to be coming to the tournament ecosystem as it stands now that are going to be beneficial, right? Like there's a lot of, we're kind of at like one of those inflection points for the game as a whole, but I see it daily with the tournaments, where we're starting to see players that are, making a name, you know what I mean? Like we're starting to be able to develop and establish these people as stars in Splinterlands, right? Like it's not just, are you a streamer? It's, can you build this community? Can you make people believe in what you're doing? And that's what we're especially going to be able to have with when you see FPS on different players, right? Like where are you going to see that the most used? Definitely in tournaments, because they're going to go through and be able to, mop people up. So yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of things is leaning towards Splinterfest, but that's kind of the front facing stuff. The longer term plays is what we're currently laying groundwork on.
Sweet. Okay. So it sounds like there's things in motion or in progress. Is there any one thing that's relevant to this week that you want to kind of like walk us through or talk through?
The one thing that I'd want to walk you through, and I can tell you, is a lot more about this Splinterfest tournament. Like I don't think I can convey it because we haven't done anything like this before. When I say a production team, I don't just mean like we have it. It's not going to look like it looks when we've done stuff on Twitch, right? Like this is a full. You have production supervisors. You have live, like when somebody selects their cards, it goes and shows here's what they did and here's their matchups. And we have, you know, unique and custom framing the way that stuff looks. Like it's just going to be, it's a lot, and that's not a bad thing, but like the production quality on this tournament is going to be gold standard. And that I'm so excited for people to get to Splinterfest and be able to interact with this, right? Like to be able to see it come to life and be bigger than it is. You know, sticking people on a desk is huge. We have to have hair and makeup for people that are casters on desk. That, you know what I mean? Like it seems stupid, but that's a thing that's like, you got to do it because they do it for all the people in, like, you know, Sunday night football booths. So we're trying to take it to that level to where it's not just like, oh, hey, here's some people who do a card game and it's in blockchain gaming. Cool. Like, no, we're going to stand on our own two legs. Like we're going to be able to be competitive with a Magic the Gathering event, or, you know, a Hearthstone tournament, or a, you know, a lot of these other card game tournaments. They're not competition in the sense that like we go head to head with them, but we want to be better. You know what I mean? Like we want to be able to put on the best events and best live shows. And this is the first one that's going to be able to have people like there hooting and hollering and screaming for their favorite players. And somebody does something crazy and it pops off and you're able to see it. Like I just would encourage people, if you really want to be treated to like a first class show, Splinterfest is going to be massive. Please get your tickets today.
Nice. Okay, well, you heard it from WeirdBeard. You definitely want to be a participant in this and come hang out with us. I think that gets us through all of our regulars, and now what I want to go do is go hop in and talk to a couple of our new folks. So we got Jemmarti, we got Jared, and we have man, I don't want to Anirud. I think I'm saying that. We'll just go with Godz. And then Godz here. So I want to do those three. And then I want to end with Urasoul because I want to go use Urasoul to transition into Splinterlands TV. So Jemmarti, do you want to go hop on real quick and you know, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, how'd you get here? And I don't think I haven't perfectly done my time. I think we have like, you know, 5 minutes per introduction for the folks that we want to do here. Are you there, Jem?
Hi, I'm here. Yeah, so I'm Jemmarti. I'm part of the support team under the financial team, which is led by Khan. And I got here through Biz, which I lost my job back in 2020 with a COVID thing. And I asked Biz if there would be any opening within the company soon, or there was like an internship or a, what do you call that, a voluntary role at that time. And then we hit the boom, and that's when we started to grow the team.
Okay, so you do it's financial support. Like what makes something financial support as opposed to other types of support?
So with financial support, we deal with the lost funds, which just happened recently. So when something's missing, for example, someone transferred a plot through a different chain and it somehow got stuck, we are the team that goes on and verifies it, and in the end send it back if we do find that it is actually missing.
Okay. And how frequent is that? Is that something that like our new users are doing all the time? Is it rare? What do we do to prevent it?
Well, for the recent events, it was due to the update, but for a very long time, we didn't have that much. Most of the time, on the regular basis, would be people sending wrong tokens to the wrong account or something like that, and on occasional, a stock payment or a transfer through like Hive and TerraBlock and stuff being delayed. So there's that. Also, I was also in charge with verifying airdrops before, the lost airdrops, and being in contact with the devs and the team leaders to have them reset and people can get them back.
So, you know, when we're trying to do this, you know, are there things that we're doing that are automated in the background so that, you know, they don't even need to put in tickets? Or is this stuff that like always has to be manual? Like
Well,
where's the line between what we know and can do on a blockchain and what we need human elements for?
as far as I know, there are works being done to have a system in place that we don't have to check them manually, and if something gets stuck, it should what do you call it, bounce back. But I'm not sure if where we at that, but we have requested that before, but I have no I'm not in direct contact with the devs. All I could do is forward that to our team leads and do some proposal for them.
Now, I don't know if you said it, but you sound a little funny. Are you from Oklahoma?
Sadly, no. I'm actually a Filipino, but I reside in Canada.
But you reside in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, are you? Man, I have like a million Canadian jokes I want to make, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to leave it be. I'm not gonna go after him. Okay. Anyway, so I do have a couple of folks that we need to introduce. Is there anything that you sort of like to share? I mean, it seems like you've been a pretty big part of the team and just helping on like a lot of different fronts. Are there things that you want to share about your experience working here, or things that you want to share to the community that you wish that they would know? Like, I like to leave these things a little bit open-ended.
Oh yeah. Well, some most people who doesn't know is working inside Splinterlands is actually the best thing I've ever had, and it's not in compared to whatever company I've worked with so far. And with just how diverse the team is, it's actually really great to know and learn about everyone here. And talking to anyone, you would learn something new almost daily. And within support, it is actually stressful when it comes to when something breaks, but these people, especially our team leads, handle it very well. And I hope you guys give us a bit of patience when it comes to your tickets and not just continuously yell, and be sure that we are actually working on it.
Rock on. All right. Well, Jem, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a passionate advocate for our players. Thanks for
Thank you, Aggie.
having a good experience and sharing that good experience. That's one of these days I should go give a talk that I give to the players or to the community or the employees. I should give that to the players in the community, just so that you guys can see. Part of the reason why I think we have so many passionate human beings is that's really what we're trying to foster. We want. Oh shit. Ivex, you dirty, dirty boy. Oh, that's savage. I feel so pwned right now. Yeah, whatever I was saying, good stuff. High five. Thanks, Jemmarti. I will now crawl into a hole. Okay, next up, let's go get. I want to go talk to Jared. Jared, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can. All right, Jared, you are on the engineering team. Do you want to go tell us what you do? Like, what do you work on? What was some of your background before getting here?
Sure. So, my name is Jared. First, thank you for allowing me to introduce myself here. I'm still fairly new. I joined the engineering team a couple of months back. I have about 25 years of experience as a software engineer, ranging in roles as senior developer, lead, manager, working with teams that are geographically dispersed around the world. A lot of my experience has been in the financial sector. Worked on a lot of different products, ranging from applications that look for patterns in the stock market, and worked on a reinsurance software application that simulated and mapped natural and man-made disasters, which was a lot of fun. Before joining Splinterlands, I worked on transfer pricing software and other various tax-related apps, which I won't bore you all in describing.
Wait. You did what? What tax-related apps? I missed part of the word.
So it's a transfer pricing software. I guess the best way to explain it is it basically tracks the internal transfer of goods and services in large multinational organizations, so like the Googles and the Microsofts of the world. They have to make sure that they're being compliant. If you remember, like, the Xerox and the Enron scandals of years past, it's software that keeps companies compliant in that nature.
So this makes total sense to me that that's your background, because I've tried to give as much guidance to the dev team. I don't want to like step on their toes. They can hire who they want, and I'm not here to like, micromanage that. But I have shared and continue to share that having people that have like real world financial experience, not just game economy, but actual economy experience, are the kinds of devs that I think make like great developers here, because you guys are tasked with making like a million small choices. And I think that the folks that have real world experience and realize that everything in this game has a financial consequence, it's the folks that have financial experience that I think make the best choices.
Yeah, well, I would also have to say that I feel like game developers also make the best software developers also. I actually got my start as a game developer, way back in the day. I was playing MUDs. For those that don't know, it stands for multi-user connection. So that's dungeon. So that's back in the day that when the internet was still in its infancy and people were playing games online, but it was all text-based. I got my licks, playing that. You get up to a certain level and you get to add to the game. And, for over a year and a half, 2 years, I was adding to the game and didn't know, to me, I was just writing stuff in a computer, and people were just like, oh, you're pretty good at this. You should really get into software development. And I'm like, what do you mean? So, I'd have to say that, I learned from a lot of great developers just initially out of the gate.
So what do you do at Splinterlands? Like, what's your core function here? What is the project that you're spending the most time on?
So since I'm still fairly new, I've been jumping around a little bit. I've been when I first started, I was working on applications that are used by the support team, and then I've been moved on to helping out and working on the on new venture projects with Dante.
All right. So is there some part of developing in this ecosystem that's particularly fun? I mean, why are you here and not still doing financial things? Like I mean, in many ways you are doing financial things here, but what's the draw of this ecosystem and place to work that pulled you out of the other things you were doing?
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to work for a game? I mean, a game company. It just sounds fun in general. But when I did my trial period and just seeing how sharp everybody was, and the engineers here are just they're really top notch. I mean, that in itself is all the motivation I need. Just being able to work with people that are just so talented, and also so supportive. So that to me is was more than enough to pull me in.
Rock on. So what are your what piece of the thing that's coming next are you most excited about? Maybe you can or can't share that, but maybe some massaged description of what you can say. Like, what are you stoked about? What do you think is going to make this stuff cool, or that is really promising about the projects that you're on?
Well, I just love that a platform is being created where you can adapt that to lots of different other areas. So I'm really excited about all the different possibilities. I've heard some of the talk of the direction that people want to take things, and just being able to take a great platform that you created here, like just the gameplay aspect of it, and then being able to re-engineer that in a way where it can be used by other in other products. I think that's just super exciting, and I think the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, I mean, building. Yeah, I mean that to me is one of the highest priorities that we have, is like taking the engine that is Splinterlands and making it so that other people can build Splinterlands like products here with like an infinite number of game loops, and hopefully if folks want to be here and they want the attention of our audience, hopefully that's going to mean that there's like a million different airdrops for a million different projects that are going to come your way. Maybe the games that come here are like, well, screw those guys, we don't need them. But I don't think that's how that's going to work. I think that every single project that comes and uses this tech is going to want your attention. You, the player, you, the gamer, you, the asset owner, they are going to want your attention, and they're going to do something like, well, let's go take 5 to 20% of whatever assets we have and give it to this audience and see if we can't get them to start playing what we're doing. And I'm hoping that, this whole ecosystem, that your starting assets, your SPS, the cards you have, all of that stuff is like what the future games will base their decisions off of. I can't tell you that's what they're going to do. I can't even tell you every single project that's going to come here. All I know is that every single group and every single team that we are bringing here, that's either something that we develop or something that other people develop, they're going to want your attention. They're going to want your mind share. They want you to play their thing. And my guess is that there will be lots of bribes along the way to help make sure that you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, transfer pricing software is always going to be transfer pricing software, but this is the possibilities are endless. I think this is just the start. So I'm excited about it.
Rock on. Okay, I think that's a pretty good introduction. Anything that you want to add, or any last thoughts you want to get out to the audience before the next time we bring you back?
No, I just feel really fortunate to be given the opportunity to be here and to show my stuff. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with a lot of the other folks around the organization.
That sounds great. Okay, I have one or two more folks to go here. We did Jem, we did Jared. Godz, are you there?
Hey guys. Yeah.
Hey. So Godz, we've I think most people know you because you've been a player, I don't even know how long, for years now. So I think folks have some idea who you are, but why don't we go do a quick introduction? Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do.
So my name's Anirudh and my gamer tag is Godz. I'm from India. I have a computer's background and been gaming all my life. So in February last year, a friend recommended Splinterlands to me, and I really liked the gameplay right away. And then after a while, I started making pages for the player-made wiki and asked Biz if I can help out in some other way. So Biz replied, and I started working for the support team January this year as a live agent. And most recently, I've started helping out with QA work, testing new releases for the game and tools used by support staff.
Yeah, that's great. I really hope that Biz is going to kill me, but I want to, when we start, getting folks into different roles, we'll have another period of growth. Hopefully, all the products that we're doing and all the sales that we're doing are going to lead to a big explosion of growth and hiring. And if that's the case, I really hope to hire internally first. And a lot of the folks that I'm hoping that we sort of like move throughout the entire organization, I hope that a lot of them start in support, because I feel like, you get to know the players, you get to know the community, you get to know the concerns, you get some experience within this company. So to hear that you're sort of doing some of the live agent stuff, and then you start going and doing QA, that to me is fantastic, because it means that you're going to come with that experience of like, well, what are the kinds of challenges that the players are running into? So you can think kind of like a bad player, or like a player prone to mistakes, and can try to catch them in advance so that the software can handle as many of these, common concerns as possible. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting that the team is hiring internally from the community. I mean, a lot of the people were working as support earlier, and they shifted to other roles like dev role, and yeah, so that's great.
So, are there any particular experiences that you want to share, either working with the team or working with the community? Any kind of like, just stories of what life is like around here?
So I really like how the team handles the situation. All of our support leads are really good at their work. And recently we had an incident like there was a sudden burst of tickets. There were around 400 plus tickets, and it took some time for investigation and resolving, but they were resolved pretty quickly. Other than that, the support leads do really work hard and work with the dev team to identify and propose a scaling solution which can be implemented. So for small issues like Hive engine transfers, they were done manually, but widespread issues, they were automated, and it was solved. I think it was solved pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean that to me, the magic of this should be one, we should be doing everything we can to reduce the number of errors that players experience, and two, any errors that do happen, we should be working to have automated things that just kind of take care of it for players in the background, so that they screw up, they do something bad, hopefully we catch it, and if we don't catch it at the front end, we fix it after they've done it. So I don't know to what extent that's possible, but the less interaction a sort of noob user needs to make with us to stop errors, the better that their life will be.
Yeah. The ticket filing process is not really necessary for what happened earlier, but it satisfies the customer that they're in good hands and the situation will be handled. So yeah, even if you don't file a ticket, the devs worked on it and it was solved.
All right. Anything else that you want to add? Any words to the team or any words to the community? Anything that's important to you to share that we haven't touched?
I'm really excited about the Splinterfest, and even though I'm not going, but still I'm excited, and I really hope that there are more Splinterfest in all around the world, different locations. Yeah, and also the GLS project. Yeah,
it's a super diverse team, so we have so many languages from the players and so many languages in the team. It's amazing, and yeah, I'm personally stoked. GLS is this amazing starting point. If you're starting a new project and your partner is a 100 million person ecosystem, that's a hell of a way to start something. So I'm pretty stoked for that personally, and I'm glad that you are too. All right, Godz, thanks for coming on. Thanks for getting introduced to the team here. I think our last new person that we got to bring on board is Urasoul. Some of you will know Urasoul. He's been part of the Hive community for a while now. Probably the Steam community. You were there on Steam, weren't you? Yeah. So he goes way back. So Urasoul, you want to go introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and then kind of switch over and talk about what you do for Splinterlands.
Sure. Okay. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me. Yeah, my name is Nick, or Urasoul. I was part of Steam way back in 2016, pretty much from the first month they went live, and been very active on Hive, doing many different things along the way. And I currently run a digital marketing agency. I'm also a software developer, and generally we try to help projects that are decentralized to grow. And so that's why I've been asked to help out with Splinterlands TV, basically. So helping Ron to grow the TV network and to reach new audiences and bring new users into the game and kind of spread the evangelist message of how awesome Splinterlands is out to Twitch.
Why do you think that's important? I mean, you have a marketing agency and you do the development. Tell us, why is this important? Why are we spending money on this? Why are we spending time on it? What do you think we get by doing this?
Well, advertising online is very much controlled, as many other industries are, by a few small players. Big players, a small number of big players. Typically, it's quite complicated and expensive to get good results from advertising nowadays. If you can reach people, your target audience, where they are, which typically is on places like Twitch, and you're you know that they're qualified, basically. You know that they want to play games. That's why they're there, pretty much. If you can reach them and show them how good the game is, get them excited, network with people. Ultimately, this game is a social game that has no boundaries or borders, so it just makes sense to provide people a platform where they can easily meet each other and see the selling points of the game. And Twitch really is very good at that. It's what it's designed to do, really. So it's a no-brainer to have your presence on there and to develop the systems you need to make that work well. That's how I see it. And
so what new features do you think we need, or what is the sort of next step for not just Splinterlands TV, but the platform that is Splinterlands TV? What do we need to do to get more of that target audience? What else is left for us to work on? Is it just grinding out more time and growing, or is there technological pieces that are necessary?
Well, it's a big question. I mean, to try to answer this, ideally, I would try to use data and a scientific approach rather than opinions. So there's a certain amount of analytics that needs to be done, and analysis and study feedback, talking to the community. But certainly there's lots of scope for the traditional kind of marketing tools, such as SEO, search engine optimization, and general kind of standard things that every business needs to do on the internet. You can keep throwing resources at that all day long, and your competitors probably are. And basically, the more you do that, the more you will rise up the search rankings for the key phrases you need to score for, the more traffic you'll get. That's a very basic thing you can be doing. But generally speaking, it's always about keeping the customer happy, listening to them, making sure you've got good communication, and you understand what the audience needs and wants. Probably all the things that you're generally trying to do anyway on a daily basis, looking at what the community are interested in, what the world is valuing when it comes to games and blockchain and these kind of things, and making sure you deliver it. So in terms of practicality, it's about monitoring the audience as much as you can, and getting meaningful data that you can act on, so that when you have meetings where there's 10 or 20 people with all different opinions on what you should be doing, you can at least hold up the data and say, well, this is what we're on the same page when we look at this, and our decisions can be made based on this, and we can measure the effectiveness of our decisions through the correct kind of analysis afterwards. So it's kind of a like I make music as well, and I DJ sometimes, and people would say, well, what's the best music you should play? Well, it's kind of about feeling what the audience wants and listening to them. And so it's an interactive process, really. And it's something I don't have a lot of data to go on for Splinterlands at the moment. I'm hoping to get some more. We're setting up analytics for SPTV at the moment. We already have it going, and we can see there's quite a lot more interest than we expected. So as I get the more advanced tools in place working, we'll have more data, and I'll probably be able to give you a more accurate and useful answer to that question.
What do you think we need to do to one of the things that I'm going to be watching is how many followers we have. What do you think we need to do to grow the follower count and get more people into this ecosystem?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of tricks and tips and strategies people have used to grow social profiles and social presence. Networking in general. I mean, I've talked to Ron already about some of the features that Twitch includes, such as raids and other things where you can actually work with other channels to kind of share audiences between channels. Being able to effectively hire or engage so-called influencers, other people that have already got lots of audience on Twitch, get them speaking about your project, offer them benefits and so on. Rather than paying Twitch, lots of money for advertising or other networks, you can just work with other gamers and other people who are naturally going to be passionate about your project. So really, it's we're human beings before we are software developers or gamers, and it's really important to reach out to people and build those relationships. On top of also building the good tools that track the data.
I'm required to ask. You also sound funny. Are you from Oklahoma? Somebody's eventually going to be from Oklahoma.
I'm from the home of English. Yeah, it's England. It's that strange little island where people don't have good teeth and speak funny. So yeah, I got some time off today from the Queen, thankfully, to talk to you. So big shout out to her.
That was kind of her. We have been less concerned about her since somewhere around 1776. But, it's okay if that's still important to you.
Remain vigilant. That's all I can say.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Urasoul, thank you for being here. Thanks for working on this project. Thanks, Splinterlands TV. I said Splitch, which was like Splinterlands Twitch. I don't really know what that word was. But I think it's looking great, and I like the direction that it's going. And when Ron gave me an update, and I was like, we had 2.4 million hours of Splinterlands TV watched like last month. That's amazing. Those are people that are getting questions answered. Those are people that are, seeing what other people can do and seeing what's possible here. That's just an insane amount of content to be watching. So I know the audience is still small and there's a lot of growing that we still have to do, but 2.4 million, what is it? 2.4 million minutes, I guess. 2.4 million minutes is just a ton of content, and I'm glad to see it out there. Thanks for helping make that possible.
No problem. Thank you.
I want to give a big shout out to Nick here, because honestly, we've came from basically just kind of cobbled together code that was done on a shoestring budget to production ready code that is reliable, constantly keeps this stuff going at night while I can sleep. It's just amazing the stuff we've gone through, and just the stuff the forward-facing stuff that you guys see, the website. That was a huge thing, integrating Discord and the Hive blockchain and Twitch in many different ways, and putting it together in a very custom way that works off of our custom software. And it's just amazing what he can do. Quite honestly, sometimes you get a good front end dev, sometimes you get a good back end dev, and he seems to be good at both, which is not something you see very often. So
Thank you very much. I've been programming computers since I was 4 years old, so I've had a bit of practice.
Wow, that's pretty young. Okay, well, Ron, why don't you take it away from here and go talk about Splinterlands TV and anything else that you want to bring up? Maybe I'll go give the shout out to the folks that have been watching the stream and paying attention.
Absolutely.
So like Spike San Juan, thanks for watching.
Can you do it in your
Hold
best?
My cards.
Can you do this in your best Diana impression?
Like Croft? You
No.
want me to British?
Yeah.
I'm not doing a British accent.
people really-
we could do. I don't want to do Russian. Like my standard is a Russian accent, but that's like all political now. So as before, it was just like Bond villain. Now it's like, what? Do you support the war in Ukraine? I'm not trying to get there. I just like Russian accents.
Oh, she's in the audience too.
Is she Crofty? Oh, wait. Can we pull on Crofty and get her to do this? If she's here and listening.
Yeah.
Yay! Come on.
she
Wait.
can put
This is
herself
even
on.
better. Yeah. Crofty, let's shoot. I gotta get into main stage. She's gotta go request permission to speak.
Yeah. No, she just got to become a speaker. All you got to do is click. Just click become a speaker.
Here. How do I? Is there any way that I can make her a speaker?
Yeah, but you got to find her in all of these. Yeah,
I found her.
You found her. Right click her and invite to speak.
Invite to speak. There it is. And actually, KnightAv is here too. I'm going to invite him to speak. I don't know if he's got anything he wants to share, but if he's here, he should feel free. So there's KnightAv. We can get him on here in a second. But come on, Crofty. I need you to go hop on. There she is. Hey,
Hi.
Are you able to speak?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great. I don't understand. I should make all my words come out of your mouth. It'll sound better. Okay. Let me get into the town hall chat again, and here are the people that we need to go give a shout out to.
I sent it over to her. Okay, you got it.
Okay.
And I also want to go before you go. I just need to give props to Hold My Cards because that's a brand new Mav account too. So not only are they like in this to win it in the Splinterlands TV side, but they're also here like earning a spot in Mav chat. So congrats on that. All right, Crofty, you're up. Go tell people how awesome they are for paying attention.
All right. Apologies if I get these wrong. I have no idea how to say some of them. Okay, here we go. Shout out to Spikes and One. Hold My Cards, Techie004, M. Howie, NFO Guides.
Yeah, there you go. How about that? Sometimes you just need a voice actress to go like make it awesome. But thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for paying attention. And Crofty, how awesome that you were here to just like come in and give us some fine acting talent. Is there anything you'd like to say in any kind of weird accent or anything that you'd like to deliver while you're here? Like a little improv?
What, from me?
Yeah.
You put me on the spot again.
Yes.
Okay,
you should expect this every time.
I should.
I don't know.
Never come on.
No, go back to the character that we had for what's her name? Lux Vega.
Lux Vega.
Yeah.
That was the one from the with the caravan.
Yeah. Go tell us something in a Lux Vega voice of like what's going to happen.
I can't remember what I did now.
You did like a little bit of you went and did like a little bit of a Russian accent or something.
Yes,
like
she was,
a Brit. Yeah, there you go.
A little bit of Russian, wasn't she?
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? I can say whatever you want me to say.
Well, don't give me that kind of power. I'm an irresponsible human at some points.
I think there's people listening, Maggie.
So no, I know. When just maybe do like a promo for why somebody should attend Splinterfest, but do it from the perspective of Lux Vega. And like when you enter her caravan, you enter Splinterfest. So like,
Okay.
come into the caravan and we will give you amazing treats at this land called Splinterfest. I don't know, something in that kind of vein.
Okay. Hey, you want to come in? You come into my caravan and I will show you the best place ever. You must come to the Splinterlands. Come now.
Yeah, like that. That was
Like
perfect.
that. There you go.
Bravo.
All right. Crofty, thank you. Thank you for being
You're
here.
welcome.
Okay, well, back to Ron. Totally random aside. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. Ron, can you tell us, anything else that we need about Splinterlands TV? And then as another random aside, let's go check in with KnightAv.
Yeah, so basically, okay, let me double check my mic. My mic keeps turning itself down. Is it good?
No, you sound good.
All right. So I want to make a quick correction. You said 2.4 million in the last month. That's not technically correct. We have like about it's a little bit higher now. It's 2.6 million, but that's all time. But almost half of that is in the past 30 days. It's like 10 million in the past 30 days. So it's all
right.
We're starting to see
good correction. Thank you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's our humble beginnings, but it's starting to skyrocket. And I think that the follower count isn't as useful of a metric as like the minutes watched count, because, people can have tons of followers and you've seen them on Twitter, you've seen them on YouTube, you can see them on Twitch, where you go buy a bot farm to follow you. But then you look at somebody who has like 500,000 subscribers and followers or whatever, and then they get like 100 people or 200 people engaging on whatever they're posting. And, something's not right. We have a dedicated following who are showing up day after day, week after week, and really just supporting these streamers. And I got to say, I love this community. This community has been awesome. And it's really great to do this and share all this wonderful Splinterlands stuff for you guys and make it possible. But I guess, let's just jump straight into the clip of the week, because that's what you guys are here for. This week, Ape of Wall Street, he won it. It was one of those that, there's people who are savants, and then there's Ape of Wall Street, who literally predicted the future somehow, and I'm not quite sure, but I might need to hire him for some special side projects after seeing this clip.
Let's see it. I've never gotten a triple summoner pack. Yo, one summoner. All right. Imagine this is a triple summoner pack. I have never seen a triple summoner pack. Will we guess it right? Yo, 2 summoners. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we actually do this? Triple summoner pack? Oh my. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo! I called it. I freaking called it. I called it. What is up?
The only thing better is if he had Lobsterdamus in that, and like he had predicted Lobsterdamus.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how you could predict something like that, but kudos to you, Ape. That was an awesome clip. Thanks for being a part of Splinterlands TV. And guys, we are doing another streamer spotlight. They're going to be giving out packs. To this week is Lewis the Accountant on, I believe he's on, I had this already and I can't find it. Sorry. Lewis Accountant's on Tuesday night, Monday night, Tuesday morning for some people. And Stever is on Wednesday night, Thursday morning for some people. So go check them out. Go to splinterlands.tv/ schedule, and you can see it in your local time. But that's all we have for this week.
Okay, rock on. So I want to go invite Knight to come on. Knight, I'm like running behind, so we can't do a long thing. But YGG is the best, and if you guys want any kind of news or anything you want to share with the community, this is a great time to do it.
Hey, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. It's great
Okay.
to see you. Great to hear you.
Great. Yeah. No, great to talk to you guys again. Yeah, I'll keep it quick. So yeah, just quick recap. YGGSPL is a Splinterlands focused DAO. We've got a lot of holdings in the game. There's about 200 of us. We're aligned with Yield Guild Games. As far as news, we just finished our first questing season about a month ago. There were awards for Brawl and solo tournament performance, community content generation, mentorship, leadership, etc. Winners were awarded ownership in the DAO, as well as YG chipped in token rewards as well. We've got our second season kicking off in about 1 to 2 weeks. So if basically playing Splinterlands and being a part of a larger group that's very serious about playing Splinterlands is interesting to you, reach out to our members. You can find them around in Mavs and elsewhere.
What is your goal for that? Are you hoping to get another 80,000 person group going? Are you hoping that it's more manageable, like 100? Like what's the vision? Is it like mass numbers, really focused? Are there certain things that you're looking for in those people?
I think so. I'd say we're probably pretty focused on the mid to hardcore segment of Splinterlands. I guess at this point, I think longer term, we may be looking for mass signups. As we get further into land, we have 2 regions we need to keep populated and active. But for the moment, mid to hardcore is I think most of our base and where we've had the most success.
Okay. Other news you want to share?
Sure. Well, I'm really excited about your SPS governance kicking off. I saw the new vote page. I voted my own accounts, and I think we're going to be starting having that conversation internally of how to vote our own stuff. We'll probably have we'll have to have DAO votes to actually vote on any proposals that come in on SPS. But just really excited that you guys have the SPS DAO governance starting, and that we'll definitely be participating.
Well, that's awesome. Anything else? Any last bit that you want to get on?
No, that's great. You guys are killing it. Super excited about everything you guys got going on.
Well, I'm stoked that YGG is here. Thanks for leading the Splinterlands side, and I'm glad I could just get you in the audience and bring you on. And good to get the news. And glad, it's amazing to think about DAOs voting on DAOs. Like what a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so now I got to get to the questions. So these are not the open-ended questions for everybody. I'm going to try to plow through these because, with a couple extra guests that I pulled on randomly, I got to go through this. So why is it necessary to claim SPS rewards? You claim SPS rewards so that every single battle we're not having to calculate everything. That is like a resource efficiency thing. Why can't this be automated? It possibly could be automated, but it's better to just claim it once every 24 hours or something. That's ideal. I think it just makes it complicated for new players to start earning, and this is just an annoyance for seasoned players. If we were not on a blockchain, we probably wouldn't have to do this, but because we're on a blockchain and you actually have to get these kind of moments down, this is a balance of efficiency and user interaction. Is the team happy with the current distribution of SPS rewards now that we are starting to see data there? No, I am not. I'm not happy with the amount that is going to silver and bronze, where there's a bunch of bot accounts, particularly in the ranked and wild rank rewards. There are changes that are getting coded up. I think as long as we want, I think bots should be able to earn. And I know that might not be like the most favorite opinion that anybody's ever had, but I don't really care. Anybody that has an account should be able to earn. I just think that it needs to be based off of your skill. It has to be based off of things like your stake, the number of cards that you have, your, what level you're at, and it has to be that you're able to earn because of how much you're participating. And so we just have to be really careful about the rules at which we use. Right now, the bots I think are getting more of a share than they should. So that's on my brain. So I'm not totally happy. But with that exception, I think if you look at Splinterlands, we have a better distribution than like 90% of the tokens that are out there. So overall, I am excited. Tower defense. Why are Rift Watchers and Tower defense launching at the same time? Wouldn't it make more sense to spread things out to give players the ability to purchase both? Well, it's mostly because of just how packed we are. Chatter, is there anything else you want to add to that? It's just like, we have so much stuff that we have to get out that we're making weird choices like, let's go launch Rift Watchers and Tower defense at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty much spot on. It's really coming down to the timeline and just how many things we have in the pipeline coming down here. I know we've been announcing announcements saying, hey, there's going to be some big things coming up. But when I say that there's going to be either like new updates or new announcements coming out pretty much every single town hall from here until kind of mid-October, I'm not lying at all. So lots of stuff on the horizon, but yeah, it's really coming down to timeline.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is really about how our team, we got together in February down in Florida and we started figuring out how is this team going to work together. And we already, like a couple months after that, we started having people like piling on. And then shortly after that, we're like, holy shit, there's so much work getting developed and done. And it's the same team. It's the same size team. We're just getting more efficient and getting better at kind of like figuring out our roles and how we interact with each other and, who's on what base and who's got to do what. So there's a lot of stuff coming down at us. And, this is, imagine in the bull market, what we're going to be able to do. It's going to be insane. All right. Agrid said we will need to stake cards and towers to increase power. Is it literally card power that will be important here, or stats, abilities, et cetera, play a role in the tower? So, I don't know that this gets pulled into the first version of the game, but it is definitely our intention where you're going to have to stake Splinterlands cards into things in order to make them more powerful. And the whole way that works is not yet decided, but I think it'll be some combination of stats or abilities are going to come into play. So I don't want to spoil it, but you're gonna want some cards that you can go stake into your towers. And in terms of like being able to buy these things, you're going to want, we're going to allow some DEC purchases. So if you're planning on getting into, tower defense, like you probably want some DEC, we're going to allow that. And we're going to give a discount off of the top purchase price if you're using vouchers. And we will be treating vouchers as $3. So just like we said we would in the white paper. So if I were you, I would be getting DEC and vouchers so that you can go get your tower defense packs. Those things are going to be worth, they're going to be worth getting into. This looks like a super fun game, and we'll be hearing more about this. But you guys are gonna want to participate. And like I've been saying, you're going to need SBS, DEC, and vouchers to buy things. Not all things, we're going to treat these things differently, but this is all kind of part of that. All right, last up questions. Miscellaneous. Will Splinterlands have anything at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia this December? What do you think? Are we going to do PAX, Chatter?
We haven't committed to it yet. It is one of the conferences that we've looked at, but that's going to fall on 16-bit if we go ahead with that one or not. If we do, we'll just make sure to announce to everyone here.
Okay. Did anyone lose funds during the Discord hack? How did it occur? Yeah, we're still sort of like going through that. I think we're resolved. And fortunately, the scam was so obviously stupid. I don't think that anybody lost money. Do you know if anybody did?
Not that I know of. I know the domain got shut down pretty quickly. Noda and the rest of our security team were on it quite quickly there, so that was great to hear. And then Bulldog and Bragger, big shout out to both of them for kind of getting everything dealt with within, I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes. But server's secure now. I think it was just a weird bypass of some 2FA, which is a Discord security issue, unfortunately. But I think everything is good. I don't know anyone that lost any money.
Yeah, neither do I. We I was there deleting that post within 5 minutes. I know that Lewis88 was giving me crap of like, why is it there? But every time I deleted it, the bot would just put it back up. So, I deleted it first, and then we started having to find out where we would get it. So I don't think any harm was caused, and we were able to just like bring it down in the first couple minutes. So that's pretty good. Why isn't SPS voucher utility a higher priority? Well, I just said, here's all of your Rift Watchers is SPS. All of the tower defense is going to allow for DEC and vouchers and SPS. But it's been over a year now with only isolated instances of utility. Shouldn't this have been in place before ever launching the token to begin with? Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thought that has zero idea of how much work goes into all of this. So when we launched it, we thought it would be good for the game, but we didn't expect it to be a 500x increase in overall like player base and whatnot. Maybe it was 50x. So that was like a huge thing that we had to go deal with, just in terms of like number of people playing, the site breaking all the time. We've been planning these things, and we continue to go try to integrate this. There is a pretty infinite sync for vouchers and SPS with like $1 billion of tokens that can sync into the validator nodes. So I don't think that's really like a fair comment. I know that you guys want more, and we are continuing to build more. But here we have Rift Watchers, which I think will be $15+ million that you can use SPS and SPS exclusively for, and then we'll have tower defense that will be in the many millions of dollars. That'll be DEC and vouchers and all of that. So it's coming. It's a priority. We're building it, and so on. Okay. And then as a team continues to add more projects, is there going to be a clear distinction between Splinterlands a game and Splinterlands a company? I mean, I don't know what distinction you hold. Splinterlands is a game, and Steam Monsters Corp is a company. And we function our company separately from the way that just the game operates. The biggest thing I think will be as the validator nodes start operating, there will be more and more of it will end up being the Splinterlands game, and less of it will be dependent on the Steam Monsters Corporation as a result, because you guys will literally be running different parts of this, and our hope is to add more and more onto the plate of the community so that it's the world's first completely decentralized game. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes for random player questions, and so let's pop some of these things in here, and we'll see what we have to answer. Ryan 600, any thoughts on to add an idle style game? I've been addicted to Legends of Leon recently, but maybe aspects of this will already be part of land. I think it'd be an interesting way of playing through some lore stories. Additionally, will tower defense have any tidal land? I don't know if tower defense has tidal land. I hadn't asked that question yet. Idle style game, possibly. I don't want to commit. I think we'll look at like once tower defense is out, which is probably like Q1, maybe Q2. It's going to take a little while for us to develop, but after that's out, we can start looking at what other kind of arcade style games do we want to do. When do you think I'll be able to add my data collection proposal? I haven't checked in with like how we're going to do that. I think we're just waiting to see, does the first proposal go through and does it work as we expect? We'll still have some control initially over what proposals we allow, but then once all the bugs are worked out, it'll get going. My guess is before the end of the year, and I'm hoping that that's like a really conservative answer, but that's where I want to start. When can we use the $chess and $focus commands again in the new tavern channel? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Bulldog can answer that. Is it good luck to buy 110 packs while listening to Town Hall? It is good luck to buy 2,000 packs while listening to Town Hall. When license SPS rewards? I thought it was going to be on Tuesday. It looks like, in part because our developer got sick that was working on it, it's probably next Tuesday, but I don't think it's tomorrow. Small chance it's tomorrow, much larger chance it's a week from tomorrow. When will we have the white paper for the tower defense and Rift Watchers, especially the pre-sale details? So we're going to have a whole bunch of announcements around Rift Watchers and tower defense next week. So you can have some more stuff there. Could you spoil us some new card art skin for the non-card market every town hall? Nate, do you have any card skins that you want to share? I know that you've shown some like prototypes before.
Unfortunately, we might be a little bit away from that, since the testing with the whole skin stuff is going forward. So this is after Rift Watchers. So as we get into possibly new reward cards or Rebellion and that kind of stuff, then whether or not we go backwards and try to apply some of that stuff towards existing Chaos Legion stuff, that's always a possibility. But yeah, I'll share it once we have something to share.
Blue John is saying, Agro, are you always this awesome to give away awesome cards on Twitch? Thanks for the hero, by the way. Yeah, so Uncle Aggie likes to show up and give cards to the streamers to give out to the watchers. So hopefully it's not always Uncle Aggie. Hopefully, Ron and Chatter and everybody has kind of like a steady supply of cards that they can use to give out. But if not, then Uncle Aggie will keep showing up. Question: when do we get to buy them soccer players? Soccer card packs start in early October. We're still a couple months out, so there could be delays, but currently early October is the plan. Question: will there be refined resources available in the non-card market once land launches so people can build their buildings? Would be a great voucher sink, say 1 voucher for 50 lumber, 50 bricks, etc. So I definitely hope that we will be having all kinds of markets in different markets. At the very least, stuff like that should be possible on Hive Engine, and then what's available through the website is going to be up for grabs. I think there should be some interactivity there, but we're still a little bit a ways from that. So that's more like a Q1 question. Any ETA on when promo and rewards cards will be allowed to be used in modern phrase? Same question for using Dr. Blight in Chaos Legion only tournaments. It kind of makes no sense that the face of Chaos Legion is not allowed in Chaos Legion only tournaments. WeirdBeard, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I'd like for it to happen. Like, the bigger thing is that it's not a box that I'm ticking that is not allowing it. It's because of the designation that it was moved when we jumped from modern to wild. So even though they were moved to the promo reward category, but those are an entire category. So if we were to select that, it would allow promo or reward cards from all categories and not just Chaos Legion. So it's like it would have to be, a dev would have to go and designate it by the border and not by the card category.
Or just like hard code an exception.
Yeah, it's something.
That is a little funky. Okay, just make sure that that's on the dev radar. I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, we've definitely raised it. They're aware of the fact that, again, because it's even like they said in brawls too, right? You can't use certain ones in now modern brawls because modern brawls only encompass not promo and reward cards for those. So they're aware. It's just along with all of the news that you're getting next week and everything else, we're waiting our turn in line.
Yeah, can we change the name of vouchers to fun coupons? I would like a different name than vouchers, but vouchers is already out there, so it might have to be in other projects that we do things like time crystals. So I think vouchers is going to be stuck for a bit. Can you release an update to the odds of rewards, merits, and SBS came to the pool? Yes, but we're still tweaking this stuff, so give us a little bit of time to get on that. Question: do you need a trainee data analyst? I'm fresh of master's degree and want to do some practice. I don't know. Go message Pluck and see if there's anything we can do there. How many crows would Agro row if Agro could row crows? At least 6. Question: what about using gladiators in special tournaments? Can we get more utility for those amazing cards? Gladiator tournaments seems like fun. Doing like brawl rule sets in tournaments could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like we want to do it again. There's like there are a million cool things on the plate. It's about how much, if we do that, we're taking away from other stuff that's also happening. So it's like, do we want to do it? Please, dear God, I will do whatever you need me to, Aggie, to convince somebody. Yeah. But that comes at a price of like understanding that we're in an ecosystem of other people too.
I think the biggest problem is that Cryptomancer, who's kind of the father of the tournament and the brawl system, is like in traveling East Asia right now. Yeah. And so his hours are slower because of the travel, and then his hours are impacted by like, crappy internet in all the different places that he's going. So, that was not our intention, but he gets to be a human. He gets to be a man. He gets to be married. He gets to have kids, and he gets to have all the features of life that he wants. So, and, I know that we would love to just chain him to a desk and make him work and videotape him working, but we also get to allow him to enjoy his life outside of Splinterlands. So I think as a community, we all have to kind of just cope with it being a little slow for a little bit while he figures out different parts of his life, and then he'll get back. It's not like an infinite tour for an infinite amount of time. That's finite. When he gets back, which I think is sometime this month, then they get to go get hardcore work again, and I'm sure that the tournaments and the brawls will be on there.
And the one thing I will say, and this is me on my platform, so I apologize, but again, the easiest way to get changes done in tournaments and brawls are by telling all of your friends to enter into tournaments and brawls, because numbers make a huge difference.
Yeah,
you know what I
they
mean?
really do.
We have seen growth in the tournament scene, and it has helped get some of our stuff done. If we can go from our current record high of 11,057 players entering in one season into tournaments to 15,000, 20,000 people entering, all of a sudden it's a lot easier to be like, hey, listen, let's go make my stuff happen, please.
Please push and shove. You got to push and shove
please.
for dev resources, and how many people are out there. It's like, how sharp are your elbows?
Yes, and the more people we get into tournaments, it's just like what we see with Ghost Card tournaments. You know what I mean? We launch those, and all of a sudden, we have 6,000 people entering into them. Cool. I bet you somebody's going to tap me on the shoulder and be like, okay, WeirdBeard, what else do you want to do with these? It's very important that it's, the more that we kind of focus on the bigger things without substituting, we need more people in there to make it happen. It just, makes the arguments easier.
All right. Well, Splinterfest be live streamed? Yes, it will. Question: will it be possible to set our daily focus to a set time? I know this is something you guys want. It's still stuff that we're working on. It's not the highest priority because it's like a quality of life feature, but it's somewhere in there. When will the next Gladiator set, new Gladiator cards overall, come out? I don't think that's planned, but that's something that we should probably get on the roadmap. What else do we have here? Holy crap. We're down to the bottom. Gonzo is asking, why am I so bad at tournaments? I don't know how to explain that to you. I would encourage you to buy more cards and get them higher level.
And if you're struggling, make sure you enter into our beginner-friendly tournaments. Anything that has a beginner tag on it is lower CP requirements, lower SPS requirements, and a tighter, making it so that you can't have people from other leagues joining it as well. Make sure you get your feet wet in those beginner tournaments before you venture out into some of the wild ones where you will be eaten alive.
Can you tell us more about asset interoperability? Yeah, I think what you're meaning there is not interoperable on different blockchains, but interoperable within different games and different things that we're doing. All of these are going to be totally unique. When we're working with a company like Major League Soccer Players Association, we don't get to do whatever we want. We have a partner in that. We have to go get approvals and we have to do things. So I can't, even if I thought it was the coolest idea, I couldn't be like, all of your Lords of Darkness are going to be goalies for the Philadelphia Union now. That I just can't do that because it's not completely up to me. And none of the, and just to be clear, nothing is completely up to me. If I tried to run this company that way, I'd be getting sticks and stones thrown at me forever. All right, next up, in terms of the games that we do control, we're trying to do a mix, for the tower defense, we want to be able to have new cards. There's a new reward pool. We want to sell new things and we want to develop stuff. So there's going to be pieces that are there. But we also want to make sure that we're honoring the people that have already contributed. So we're also trying to think through all right, can you use your vouchers? Yes. Can you use your DEC? Yes. Can you stake some cards? That's getting planned in there. So I think we're trying to be responsible and ride this line of, well, we need some new assets and we need new things that we can sell that are particular to that group. But we also want to honor that people have already purchased assets and already earned assets, and we want you to be able to use those too. And so we're trying to ride and find a balance there. Okay, question, are you conceding to bring back the one-day rental? I don't know where that's at. That's that's a pretty complicated question, and if we can get away with it, I think we will. If it stops the exploits, great. Does Uncle Aggie have a new passport? No, I do not. I still haven't found the time to go get it. I'm not dying to do international travel with 5 kids, but I don't know. We'll see. What about the WNG project? Can you give us an update? Yeah, I have another meeting scheduled. Maybe it's this week with them. My calendar is massive, so I can't tell you what that is. But yeah, at some point I got to go talk with all those guys, and we're still kind of hammering out what the product will look like. What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Is that an African or a European swallow? And then let's see. Question: will there be changes on ECR penalty reduction below 50% for higher leagues, Diamond and Champ, or depending on staked SPS? I don't know. That's like totally up to the rank rewards team. Question: will the player ambassador program come back? You know, we do some of the player ambassador stuff. If you want to go get posters, gotten into like comic book stores, go message Chatter. I think Chatter, aren't you taking care of that? You know, print people posters.
Yep, just send me a DM and we can get on that for sure.
Yeah, Nachos, just talk to Chatter. He can get you up. All right, let's stop with questions. So, Diana, could you tell everybody that we're going to have our town hall next week, next Tuesday, and what time is the town hall going to be? It looks like it's from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So,
Next week?
Yeah, Tuesday. We are going to have a town hall Tuesday, September 6th, at going from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Town hall next week will be Tuesday. What was
Oh, come on. Come on. You had one job.
Tell me again.
Tuesday, September 6th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, next Tuesday, September the 6th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the next town hall will be happening. Be there.
Yeah. All right. That's better. Okay. We need to do that in like the radio or like we're going to announce Top Gun the movie or something, right? Like coming to you live this Saturday. That's actually not Saturday. Coming to you live this Tuesday, September the 6th. You know, that I'd like to hear your movie role production voice at some point.
A trailer voice.
Yeah, trailer voice. You know what coming next. Okay. So we have that. Anything else? Any other major things that we need to get? Did we forget anything anywhere? Did we hit all the points? All right. The team here is not adding anything. Okay, so we have 1 minute left. Let me go do my kind of standard thank yous. It is an absolute privilege to be able to serve this community. It is basically a dream job. It is basically a phenomenal organization to be a part of. We are doing everything we can to crank out more code, crank out more content, but do it in a way that the products are awesome and that it's a joy for the players to participate. I continue to strive towards my goal of spawn point equity, where no matter where you're born on this planet, if you get access to Splinterlands, you have a chance to go change your fate and change your future and participate from the smallest minnow to the biggest whale. And that's the kind of platform that I'm attempting to build. And that I think that this team is sort of aligned in that mission. We have some amazing partners. We have some new cool products, new ways to play, new games that are coming. We're working on things like social casino games, music and entertainment games, sports games. We will no longer be just a single one game product, but there's going to be multiple ways to go use not only your Splinterlands stuff, but a whole variety of cards and tokens, fungibles and non-fungibles that will be rolling out here soon. As we do that, we're trying to hold the line between what assets are specifically from Splinterlands and what assets help the business grow and what assets help the community grow. And it's a complicated balance to try to strike and pose. But I feel like using things like DEC and SBS and vouchers and being able to go get airdrops and other products, and that you're just going to see a lot of cool stuff rolling out here. And this is honestly the fastest pace that we've ever gone. The team is getting better at working with each other. The creative team is delivering amazing content, and the devs are kind of stitching it all together into a workflow and experience that's high quality and excellent. So thank you to the team. Thank you to our community. Thank you to Crofty here for her lovely voice. And thanks to the new team members that we were able to introduce. Hopefully you're feeling the same way I'm feeling, that this game is producing an enormous amount of content with a really lean team, and it's just like incredible to watch what we are capable of as a group. So with that, many thanks, many blessings of peace, prosperity, and freedom to you and yours. And I look forward to seeing you here Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on September the 6th. Come join us live for our next town hall. Thanks, everybody.